Okay, let's go. Here we go. Monadnock Sunapee, Center Pond and Nelson Village. Some water. Good morning, guys. Oh, look at this, just starting his already trail work. Up by here, it is April 1st, and this is not a joke. I am back on the MS Greenway Trail going from Pitcher Mountain to a minimum of the Robinson Brook Cascade, I think it's called, and with the intent to make it to Center Pond Road. But it's supposed to be around noon, and this is about 9 o'clock. So I'm going to take advantage of the nice weather, get some exercise, and do a little more trail work with my trusty companion. Nice brook. Big fan of those blazes. They're reflective. You don't have to bring a can of paint, and they last a while. So the trail at the beginning of the lower area is quite soupy today. We did have heavy rain yesterday. I'm wearing, I don't do waterproof boots. That's, you're just gonna get wet anyhow. So I have my Hokas and my always wear wool socks. Specifically, I've been using Darn Tough, made in Vermont, hiker friendly, and a lifetime warranty. I actually just replaced 2 pairs. I've had about 3 pairs I've had to replace. Finally gave up the ghost on a pair I hiked the Appalachian Trail with 4 years ago. So I think I still have one more of those pair, and eventually they'll get replaced. So far there's been a lot of little sticks, nothing major on the trail. And I promise this won't be a 55-minute video like the last one. It was just way too long. That's what we're talking about. The amount of times I walk through this stuff on my AT through hike, I can't count. It's really bad up in the whites too, so I think during my through hike I was fortunate that Vermud was not bad at all, and I escaped that, even though I did not escape it during my second half of my long trail hike last year, and I paid the price for that. Had to go to the urgent care for some, shall we say, delicate issue that the rains caused. But right here, this whole section all the way to the Cascades is beautiful, nice easy hiking. Then it gets a little harder past that where they rerouted it from that house I was telling you about over off of Center Pond Road. So that goes up pretty good hike there in both directions. A nice climb. It's beautiful though, lots of pines, evergreens. That's really cool. I'll show you that shortly if I make it that far. The goal is to make it to Center Pond Road before the rains come. I do have my umbrella and my windbreaker because it's 60 today. It's beautiful. So we'll see. There's our first real obstacle for the day. Not sure if I can just pick it up. Not drop it. Whoop. Subsiding away. There you go. Off the trail. Didn't have to bring the saw out. Off we go. There we go, folks. Yeah, it went bigger than yesterday. 1 mile, exactly 1 mile in. So I could easily hike that in with my 12-inch, no, I think it's a 14-inch chainsaw. And knock this bad boy out. We'll see how the rain holds off tomorrow. I may come do that tomorrow. But it's exactly 1 mile from Pitcher Mountain. Nice big old field up there. Twig there. See the hills over there. This one's in the way. I'll see if I can get that out without bringing out the saw. There you go. I bent it around that tree. That tree's going to come down at some point, but the branch stays alive. So that's a bonus. Sun's breaking through, but supposed to look like more rain around noon. I do have a windbreaker and a hiking umbrella, and I'm not too concerned about getting wet. You hike once in the rain, you can hike the rest of the times in the rain. Especially since I'm not that far from the car. I do carry a rolled up tarp and some durable ultralight string. So I could set up a shelter if I need to, or wrap up in it. I do have a lighter. And I also have a mini air horn if I need it. That's mostly scare away the big critters if they show up, but usually you don't have to, they just boogie. So we're good. Wind is blowing a little, it's nice because I'm sweating a bit. Road's right there, old dirt road. I think it goes out to Route 123 by the, where you can see the buffalo and all that. The beef farm. And like I said yesterday, this trail has a bunch of these. So we'll stop at this one. There's water in there. That's interesting. So I'm assuming the main part of the house was there. And that was the bulkhead to come in, maybe? Maybe they came in here somewhere? Maybe I should come out here with a metal detector. That'd be kind of cool. There's actually one across from my house. And my house is built in the 60s, so I'm assuming it was one of the first on my road. And across the street there's a stone foundation. I am going to take my metal detector there and check it out. So it's probably, I'm thinking it was a homestead instead of a camp. Because, you know, the old camps, they were just built on blocks or whatnot, or whatever, stilts. They really didn't make a foundation. I would only think you make a foundation if you plan on staying there longer. So you never know what you might find. Alrighty. You might get wet on this ride. I did not bring my trekking pole, so I'm not going to attempt to cross over on that. We got a rock here. And a rock there. Very peaceful in here. Look at that. You gotta love this. That, not sure if I could cut that down. Or let nature take its course and then come out and clean it. Alright. Bigger tree number 2. And it's another one I will not be able to use with my saw. I'll be here all day. Ooh. I might be able to move that. Beauty. Georgia came back, make sure everything was okay. She is the head of the QC department and the HR department. So if you have any complaints, you have any concerns, you're going to have to take it up with her. She works for Kibbles and Bits. Dang! Just around the corner. All up in hell. Let's see what we can do with this bad boy. And right next to it, a few other items. Beauty. Love it when a plan comes to fruition. Look at this. This is so beautiful out here. I kind of wish they'd let you camp like right here. But I get it. There's slobs that we saw in yesterday's video. Would not be respectful. I'm really surprised that you don't find remnants of camping out here in fire pits. This is a nice spot. No shortage of water this time of year. Probably the best section on the trail, in my opinion. Granted, it's not this way in the summer. Woo! How cool is that? I get a kick out of these signs are like way up there. I don't know. Maybe it's for vandals. I don't know. You know how people are. Some people are. Not everybody. You know what I mean. Well, I think we might have time. Maybe we could climb ahead of here to go to Center Pond Road and back. Some more beautiful views. Now we got the uphill. And this one's I was talking about, this section, how cool it is. Very peaceful. Now we got the uphill. There it is up ahead. Here's Nature's Own Emergency Shelter. Yep. I believe I could fit in there. If I had to, I would. I had to do that in the Whites, in between Mount Washington and Madison. When I was hiking the AT, there was a storm rolling in. You could see it from Washington. I still had a mile and a half to go, so I found the only spot to tuck in. If you watch my videos, you'll notice that it's a bunch of rocks, little rock cave. But for some reason the storm never came, so I decided to boogie it. And I was able to make it safely to the Madison hut. Alrighty, this is definitely going to be a saw moment. So let me take a break, get the saw out, and get to it. I think I need a new saw. Not sure if I'm going to be able to get the video of this. We'll see. Yeah, go over the dangle. All right, a little bit more trim work and we'll be good. This is another cool site along the way. It's like a spring. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments. But it is definitely built up. You can see that. So, and if I'm not mistaken, that thing has water on it year-round. But never had to use it because you have the brook just ahead. So the brook's where you'd normally camel up. But it's just cool to know that. I wonder if it's part of that. Well, no, that old farm site is way back. Well, somebody used it out here, so I'm wondering. I don't know, I guess I have to go poking around the woods. If there's another old foundation that no one's found. Because why else would you have that out here? If you know, let me know. Alright, here's another one I will not be able to do anything with. This appears to be closer to Center Pond Road. It's 2.3 miles from Pitcher Mountain. So, I don't know, Saturday's going to be a good day to do stuff, so I may go up to the trailhead off of King Street, go a mile in, clear that tree out, come back down to Pitcher Mountain, go in a mile there, clear that tree out, swing around back to Center Pond Road, hike in from there, and clear this one out. They're all doable with my 12-inch chainsaw, but there's no way I'm going to pick this bad boy up. Look at that one. Thankfully, that landed in the appropriate location. Speaking of fallen trees, there's nothing scarier than hiking the Appalachian Trail and having trees fall just as you pass them, or just as you're about to go to them, which happened to me quite a few times. So, aside from seeing tree bear and a bull moose, which weren't scary at all, the only scary thing was when the trees come crashing down. Oops, when the trees come crashing down, that'll scare you. Stone wall crossing. Oh, so this was I was talking to you about yesterday's video. This is where it used to go through the ladies' yard back in 2020. So this is all the newer section, goes up and over to the road. Alrighty. Let's see if I can just pick that one up and move it. There's one. A little bit in the water. Let's see. This is broken off. Voila. Yes, I'm okay. There you go. That wasn't bad. Alrighty, that was a bit of a climb. That's a good climb. Get up to the top. Oh. But, nice views. Peaceful. Got a bench. Parker Hill. We're going to take a break. Then go down Center Pond Road. It's all downhill from here, but we got to return and come uphill. Now, if I'd walked from home, I would have just taken Center Pond Road home, but I still could. I could take that to Pitcher Mountain, but that's walking on the road. Nah, not interested. Break time. Alrighty, we're heading downhill now to Center Pond Road. I just stopped because it reminds me of the Appalachian Trail in Georgia when I was hiking it in March. Right now I think I'd be in North Carolina at this time. Probably somewhere around the Roan Highlands, I think it is. Because I remember I was suffering a cold. The only cold I got, and it was miserable. But this is just like hiking the AT in Georgia. Kind of makes me wish I was on trail. Every time I see new hikers on, they say the trail never leaves you, and apparently that's true. Now, if I can get my wife to do a through hike, I would go back and do it again with her and Fearless Companion. The only problem is the Companion can't go through the Smokies and it can't go through Baxter State Park in Maine. So there's different logistics involved. We'll see if we can move this. Yep. Dragged it over there. Might be something else right there. Yep, it definitely is. Get it, George. This one, we'll see. It may require cutting. I might be able to drag it that way. I was afraid that would happen. Not quite. Still got a couple feet to go. I love what it took to make these stone walls. And these are definitely different stones from yesterday. These are all like sharp edged. The ones yesterday were round. This is a pretty good climb we're going to come back up to after. I'm wondering if it's higher than Jackson. So if you're watching this and you know, let me know in the comments. Alright guys, I don't have, well maybe I can try a rock. Found this 3 miles exactly from Pitcher Mountain. So you do the math from Center Pond Road. But I'll try to pound it somewhere on this. Looks like it might have been on this old tree, which you have the blaze there. You have the blaze there. So I'll put it here for now. But it's 3 miles from Pitcher Mountain. Alright, just from that last spot, not too far ahead, you got this one. Which is, she can slide down a little bit. That's another one I could probably get with my chainsaw if I'm coming this direction to go to the one that's closer to the road. I'll do the math. But if I'm going to go up to that one, I might as well hit this one because it's right there. And I can easily drop that. I've been doing some stone work. A little erosion control. Boy, I tell you, the clouds, I don't know. Starting to give that feel. So, whatever. I'm filthy anyhow. So it's a little natural shower. But we get the road and take a quick break and head back. So in typical fashion sometimes, you kind of lose sight of the trail. It's going this way. There's no blaze there, but I'm like looking around. Where's the trail? Where's the trail? Okay. A durr moment. Now there's a blaze this way. They could probably stand to use a couple over there, but you know, this is pretty much a blaze right here. Let's take some grunt work to get these out here. I remember I think they were doing these a couple of years ago because I'd come through. I think a couple of guys were out here. It was all fresh stone and now it's acclimated. Good stuff. Gotta be getting close to the road. You may get wet on this ride. It's a little moist. Word of the day, kids. Moist. Haven't seen any critters today. Except that one. She's smelling something. Oh, pardon me. Ladies first. Alright, we're pretty much at the road. Here we go. So 3.4 from Pitcher Mountain. And it was 2.3 where I saw the last tree. So that's 1.1 from here. So basically both trees are 1 mile from an entranceway. In this case, it would be the road here. I just pull up here. I might be able to take my side-by-side and just park it here because it is a side-by-side friendly community, except on the state roads. So if I don't get caught crossing the state road, and this is going to Nelson. So from here, it's basically road walk all the way. You got Kreider Shelter, that's off trail by 0.2 of a mile. Or you bang a sharp left, and it's old logging roads that go up and over to Route 9. So basically, there's nothing much to check here because it's all road. That's somebody else will be clearing that. So I think I'll start heading back and take another break up on top of Parker. Keep ahead of the rain. So, according to this, we will have done 6.8 miles total. So it was 8.8 yesterday. I thought it was going to be pretty close. It's not too bad. If I want to go to Mount Sunapee, it's about 30 miles, but that's about a 2-day trip. I don't know, I might when things dry up. We'll see. I want to hike the New England Trail in the fall, so I want to take her for her first trip out in the woods. But there's logistics involved in all that stuff. And that's at the tail end of my whirlwind summer excursions. So, got plenty of logistics to plan. Alright guys, I'm going to end the video here. Except for when I get back to the trailhead. Unless I see something exciting, because we've already crossed this. See ya! Can get you a good deal on a condo. Whew. So I ran down from Parker Hill to the Robinson Cascades because can't see it now. I'm chasing a storm. Clouds got dark. The breeze stopped, and that indicated to me the calm before the storm. I am now, let's say, yep, I'm pretty much 1 mile from Pitcher Mountain because I can see the tree up ahead I need to go around. And I'm actually checking the distance from that dirt road back there. See which way's easier. I think it's easier coming down the dirt road. I'm just not sure if it's accessible to a vehicle. All right, we got a mile to go.